Thank you for the introduction. I will try to be a bit quicker. So first of all, I want to thank Anthony for the invitation. I'm really glad to present you this project we're working on since a couple of years now. And second of all, I may disappoint you, but I'm not a black belt. I just went when I was younger to the yellow belt, and that's it. But with all the good presentation that we had, I'm thinking about going again.
We change the values down, and you can become a black belt. Change the values.
So that's it. So I'm here to present you the IVALUE project that I'm working on. So I represent the National Anti-Doping Organization from the French part of Belgium. And about the project, so we are 7 partners who are working on this project. The budget was around 100,000 euros. The name we chose both values in every classroom, and the topic was to implement some value-based education in classrooms and to younger people, starting from a very young age to an older age. So about the partners, we have 5 national anti-doping agencies. So one from us, the Belgian, the Austrian one, the Romanian one, the Serbian one, and the Slovado on the right. And then we had the help of 2 universities, the Leeds Beckett in the United Kingdom and the UMIT in Austria. So where we started, starting points is we as National Anti-Doping are doing some education about anti-doping and the danger of doping. And we have above us the World Anti-Doping Agency, who wrote some guidelines about education, and who is telling us, okay, if you go to schools or if you present to younger people, try to address the value first and maybe all the anti-doping control second. So we want to, like the first contact that the sports people have with doping, we want to have it with prevention and values and not with doping control. Because it can be quite harsh for young people, like 70 years old, to have a notion of anti-doping directly with the anti-doping control and to pee in front of somebody. That can be some harsh thing to do. So we as INADO found out it's quite complicated for us to reach the children, because we need to get past from the teen clubs to the teacher and the parents. So we tried to, with this project, to address specifically to the teacher and to make it as easy as possible for the teacher to read our material. I brought it here, we'll show it to you afterwards. And so we began for the program. We want to be, as I said, as easy as it could be for the teacher to implement it. We also wanted to have the approach that is suitable for all children, because we have different countries and different values. So maybe something that is evident for us in Belgium is not that evident in Romania or Serbia. So we have to take that in consideration. And the final part, all the projects should be measurable, because we need to do a scientific paper afterwards for the results. So the role of the National Anti-Doping Organization was to coordinate the project, to gather the review and the existing material about anti-doping and value-based education in sports. Afterwards, we did a pilot study, so we had to contact schools in each country and implement the schools and reach out to the schools and be present for the pilot study to have some feedback about our project. And then the role of the university that helped us on that was also to gather some reviews, a review of programs that had been done in the past, and to help us to choose the values that we put in our program. And then they also are very important for the evaluation at the end of the program. So the gathering of the review materials from the NADOs, we have found 11 different programs. So maybe for us in French, we try to search like in Canada, in Switzerland, all the French-speaking nation, what they had about value-based education, and we try to translate it so that the other national anti-doping organization could see what has been done in this field. So we had some handbooks, some websites, some coaches' guides, some poster, everything. So every country done that for their languages and the country. And the university reviewed 82 texts. And so what came at the end, it was the importance of the person who delivers the information. So that's why we really put an important point of implement to do it to be as easy as possible for the teacher to read our program and so that he doesn't have a lot of questions. Afterwards, they also told us which value would be the best suited for our program. So they found out honesty, helping, caring for others, tolerance, equal opportunity, and justice. And then they told us we should try not to emphasize about the fact of winning and outperforming others, because we found out if we go to children nowadays, they're very focused on winning. They want to win at all costs and don't really care about the rules. They just want to be first and not care about the other or the team. So that's why they told us. So we try to take into the consideration what they told us. So about the project, we chose 5 values. So fairness, respect, compassion, honesty, and responsibility. So each value had a country. So for example, Belgium was responsible for compassion. So we decided to cut the age group in 3. So we started at 6-year-olds to 8, 9 to 11, 12 to 14. And for each age group, we decided to build a lesson plans with different activities around this value. And each value is around 40 minutes long. So each activity, I will show it to you, and maybe it's easier for you to. So that's why the teacher will get for the project. So we're just hand him this book. So normally everything is inside. So at the beginning there is some introduction about the values, some definition about the values. Sorry. We also created a map which is at the end that the teachers can put in the classroom. So they can put that in the classroom, and when they're doing the project, okay, we started with honesty, now we can go down to the path to compassion and so on. So we try to do that for the teacher. And so the teacher will have that when he opens for, we took fairness. So there's the value, then there's a small definition for the value. Then there is the age group and the level, because we have 2 levels of difficulty, one is basic and one is advanced. Then there is the goal of this lesson plan, the toolkit that he needs, if he needs photocopies, if he needs paper, color pen, or something like that, and the rules that the children need to be, and the intersection with school subjects. So afterwards, you'll see that every subject and every game has its own time. So we try to do it like 2 games per value, so it's like 40 minutes. And we also tried to do like 2 activity per value, so that one activity is more like, okay, the children are listening to the teacher, and the second activity they are doing the activity, so that they are learning by doing. Because we found out that with the age group that young, they're really motivated, they have a lot of energy, and if you talk to them about 40 minutes about values, you lose them and they're not interested. So that's why we try to really implement the movement and to make them move and learn by doing and moving. Then we also adapted because our project had COVID in them, so we didn't plan that, so we needed to change and found some online adaptation here at the bottom. For every activity, we needed to find some online adaptation because we didn't know if COVID would last or not. So that was kind of a busy thing to do. So the project design, it started from year 3. So now we are normally here, implementation. We already did the pilot study a few months ago, and now we're trying to contact schools to do the program in January, but we wanted to have an extension of the program because of COVID. We wanted to add another year, but apparently it was denied. So we have normally a meeting next week to talk about how we'll proceed about that. So that's the calendar of what everyone needs to do. So that was the role of the NATOs, and here we are normally recruiting school. There is written like workshops for teachers. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we didn't have the time to implement that, so we crossed that, and we don't do that anymore because we wanted to gather the teacher in one room and to talk about the project and to implement it, to have the feedback about the project a bit furthermore. But we didn't have the time to do that. So that's the current timeline. I'm not sure if you're trying to read it correctly, but we are, that's the new timeline because, like I said, because of COVID, we tried to have another year, but apparently it's not going to happen. The pilot study, so for each country participating in the project was to contact 3 or 5 schools and to do the project. So every time we had this kind of material. So the thing was just to give the material to the teacher, don't say anything at all, and just see if they are how do you say that? Yeah, they can manage it at their own and don't need our help because, okay, what does that mean? I don't know how it's going to be and like that. And we just gave them that, and we just sat in the classroom because we needed to be present to see how it goes because we are not teachers and we wanted to see, okay, is it adapted to the teacher and to the classroom and to the young age of the children. That's it. So we had, after the pilot study, we had some questions for the teachers and for the children that participated in this project. So we tried to separate the children because when we asked some children, we asked that the teacher should go out of the classroom because he shouldn't have some interference and some interference with the children's feedback. And we try to have the feedback from the teacher also like that. So we asked the teacher if they understand the material, if it was easy for them to implement, if there's anything missing, or do you think that the kids have fun, and all those kind of basic questions. And it was also the same kind of question for the kids. Did they understand the material, what is easy, and would they like to have more lessons like that in school? So the results are very positive for us because as the teacher and the children were really positive about our project. The teacher told us that the majority of the activities was well prepared and that they understood everything with what we gave them. And the children told us also, the majority of them told us, okay, we like that because it's different from what we have in school. It's not like mathematics or geography. It's like something we can move and learn. It's quite funny for us, and we would like to do that again. So now the delivery and evaluation. So that's the current state of the program. So for the current state, we should normally contact 10 schools per country and at least 2 classes, so that we have 1 class where we can implement this project and 1 control class when we don't implement it. So for the evaluation, we can see if there is any difference between the 2 groups, one that had done the project and one that hasn't. So normally we should have like 40 students and 40 students for the program and 40 for the intervention control group. And yeah, we decided that, like I said before, we have 2 levels, 1 basic and 1 advanced. We decided to do it like more the basic level and then the evaluation, and not the basic, advanced, and then the evaluation, so that it could take less time for us and less time for the teacher, because it's taking a lot of time to do all the values in 1 school year. So we prefer to do, okay, let's do the basic one and then evaluate the lessons. So for the evaluation, we will send then the data to the Austria University. So for the first group, like 6 to 8, we are asking them to draw a picture about what they remember about the value and what they think about this value. And then for the second, the second and third group, like 9 to 14, there is like a questionnaire for them to fill, and then we send that to the university so they can analyze that. So about the questionnaire, it's a bit complicated because we needed to have some paper for the parents. So like for the pilot study, we needed to signed document from the parents to say, okay, we are allowed to take the feedback from your children, and that's quite difficult, because we needed to ask the teacher several times, okay, do we have the paper or not, and it took us a long time before we got the paper, and the university cannot analyze the feedback without those authorization from the parents. And then normally there should be a IVALUE conference about all the results of this project in Slovenia, but we don't really have the date yet. But if there is someone interested, I will make sure you have all the information. So that's it for me. If you have any questions now, or I think Anthony has our email address, so you can send us a question. If you want the material, we also have it as a PDF form, or if you want to have a look now, you can. So thank you for the attention, and